The 49ers are in serious trouble because on Tuesday, before John Lynch went on with the media at the combine, Adam Schefter dropped this huge news about Trent Williams and the 49ers not coming to an agreement on a contract extension. Trent Williams is out of guaranteed money on his contract, and that's what he wants to get paid more, to get more guaranteed money. He's 38 years old, right? He says he wants to play till he's 40 years old. For the 49ers, if you're sitting here right now, you don't have any leverage in this situation. Trent Williams has all the leverage in the world right now because, one, if the 49ers decided to cut him or trade him, they'd still have to pay him a certain amount of money, even if Trent Williams wasn't on the team next year. Two, they don't have a backup plan. And this goes into the 49ers being negligent about not prioritizing this offensive line, not prioritizing getting a left tackle to succeed Trent Williams once he retires. They don't have any options. Their options are Austin Pleasance out there at left tackle. Their next option would be to draft a left tackle with the 27th pick overall. And by that point, you're probably not getting a first round tier left tackle in the draft. So the 49ers are in a lot of trouble right now. Trent Williams has the ball in his court. And to make things even worse, to make matters even worse for the 49ers, there's a deadline to this situation and guaranteed money on the line as well. Because by March 20th, the 49ers would owe Trent Williams $10 million of option bonus money. So that being said, for 49ers fans, the only good side about this so far is that this thing wouldn't drag out into training camp. We wouldn't be seeing Trent Williams holding out into training camp because if the 49ers decided they didn't want to have Trent Williams on the team anymore because they didn't want to pay him X amount of money, it would be done before March 20th because they don't want to pay him $10 million guaranteed. So this is in favor once again for Trent Williams and his agent in negotiation tactics. Now, when John Lynch finally went on with the media at the combine, obviously he was asked about this. How are negotiations going? What's going on with Trent Williams? What are the Niners? What are you guys' outlook on this situation? And as always, John Lynch always with the PR responses, the things to kind of cool down the flames a little bit. He said that he's been having good meetings with Trent Williams and his agent. He said, quote, "I think we're on the right track," unquote, regarding contract situation talks, regarding guaranteed money and everything like that. Now, the way John Lynch said it, he really did not sound panicked at all. It sounded like it was truth. It sounded like they actually were having good conversations. And obviously, before John Lynch went on with the media, that was another negotiation tactic. That was Trent Williams' agent sending that out to Adam Schefter to put more pressure on John Lynch, trying to get as much money as they can, squeeze the pockets from the 49ers. We've seen Trent Williams do this multiple times with the Niners, holding out into training camp in 2024, almost signing with different teams. And if I'm Trent Williams, and we've seen this before, I forgot what year it was, but he almost signed with the Kansas City Chiefs because money talks. Money talks to Trent Williams. He knows what he's worth. Yes, he's 38 years old, but he was still playing at an elite level last year for the 49ers. Yes, he was injured for a couple games, but after that, he came back and he was protecting Brock Purdy. He did what he had to do, and he's still better than 90% of the left tackles in the league. Matt Mayoko put it out there as well. If Trent Williams wasn't on this team, there's plenty of teams out there that would be willing to pay him a lot of guaranteed money to continue to make him one of the highest paid left tackles in the league. And he notably mentioned the New England Patriots. If they would have had a Trent out there in the Super Bowl, things could have looked a little different out there for them. So the market would be huge for Trent Williams, and he knows that. His agent knows that, and the 49ers know that. Now, what is the actual solution for the 49ers? What are their options for the 49ers? Well, Dieter Kurtenbach from the Mercury News put out an article a couple days ago kind of explaining what would happen if the 49ers were to cut Trent Williams with the post June 1st designation. And hate to say it, but it's still bad news for the 49ers. If they were to do that with the post June 1st designation, his cap hit for 2026 would be $13.3 million. And in 2027, it would be $20.8 million. So the 49ers would still be paying him $33 million without Trent Williams even being on the team. The only flip side would be they would have $30 million of cash for this season to spend. Now, whether the 49ers were to spend that money or not is another situation. And I don't think they're willing to not have a left tackle at the beginning of 2026. So what are the options for the 49ers? Well, really, the only real solution is to extend Trent Williams another year, spread out the money a little bit so you save some cap space in this year, spread it out to the next season, and worry about the cap hit next season. And that is what Dieter said in his article. I'll put it up right here. And that's the only situation that makes sense for the 49ers as well, considering they're always in playoff contention. They're Super Bowl contenders, even last season when we saw half the team injured. But if you take Trent Williams out of that equation, you put Austin Pleasance in there, you even put a rookie left tackle out there, the 49ers are no longer Super Bowl contenders in 2026, no longer even playoff contenders. And if you look at the free agent market for left tackles right now, I think your best option is the left tackle from the Browns, I think Cam Robinson. So the 49ers essentially have no leverage in this situation. The only viable option for the Niners, pay Trent the big money, give him his guarantees, don't even worry about it anymore. We don't want that weight on our shoulders, especially as 49ers fans. If the 49ers don't sign Trent Williams, I think it's safe to say we can start questioning this franchise. We can start questioning this ownership. Do they even want to win a Super Bowl at this point? If you don't sign Trent Williams, if you don't keep him on your team, because he is the most vital part of this team outside of Brock Purdy. So 49ers, do the right thing. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Jed York, pay Big Trent the money, pay him the big money, and let's close this situation down before it could get even more heated.